Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli, back with another review video, and it's been a little while, but I'm glad that both me and my good friend are back doing another review, and of course, back with me, of course, is my good friend Elijah Goring. Good to have you back.
Thanks, man. It's been an honor.
Yes. So we are in fact reviewing, as you read the title, starring Robin Williams and directed by famous movie director Francis Ford Coppola, Jack from 1996. Because as I recall, this is like based off of a true story. Because Robin Williams plays this boy who has grown to be like an old man, like he's like an adult, but really he's actually 10 years old. And Robin Williams, as I said, he plays Jack Powell, and his parents are Karen Powell and Brian Powell. But okay, we'll start with you, Elijah. Like, what are the first things you have to say about Jack?
Um, yeah. God, that's a tough situation. Okay. Interesting, but it was an interesting concept. Well, I do like Francis Ford Coppola, of course.
Yeah.
I watched his movies that he executive produced. I know he executive produced Lost in Translation and Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2. Well, I love the second movie better than the first. Yeah, I feel like Robin Williams did a great job in the film, and I remember this movie back in 2006 on Stars Kids and Family. Well, I used to have Stars when I was a kid. I remember seeing that movie on cable for the first time. It was an interesting film, but it was like a little weird. It feels like 13 going on 30 meets Big. You know what I mean? But it's a different concept to those movies, those growing up films, like growing up fast and wishing to be 30 or 40 or 20 or any age, basically.
This movie, like, you know what? When it was released, like, it really didn't do that good, and I don't get it, because you know what? I enjoyed this. I watched it on Disney Plus for the first time, and I thought it was not bad, but it also is very emotional and very sad, especially because when Jack first goes to school and, how all the other kids react. But then, as time goes by, like, the kids start coming to him, and there's a friendship that happens, and and even say again, the cast of characters, like, okay, Lou is played by Adam, a young at the time, a young Adam Zoltan, and there was his mother Dolores, played by Fran Drescher, and also most infamously Bill Cosby was in this too, and he basically, like, I guess was like a teacher to Jack, like homeschooling, I guess. But Bill Cosby, he's been a good actor in some content, and I think that he was good in this. Like, do you have anything to say on Bill Cosby?
Yes. Any actor in general. Diane Lane's in the movie, and I was in shock that Jennifer Lopez was in the film.
Yeah.
And, I know her from The Boy Next Door, Anaconda, Selena, U-Turn, and especially my personal favorite, Enough, and also Made in Manhattan, and Shall We Dance. The thing is, I know Robin Williams from the Jumanji and The Birdcage and Robots, and personally, The Birdcage is my favorite Robin Williams movie.
Me too.
And I was in shock that Bill Cosby was in the film, and he was in the Cosby Show at the time.
Yeah.
And Hollywood Pictures distributed the film. It's a division of Disney from the adult side, like Touchstone, Miramax, and Dimension Films, basically.
Yeah.
But it's so weird that I thought it was Disney Pictures distributed the film, but Hollywood Pictures, which is a division of Disney, and the Hollywood Pictures brought the film, and the box office was a flop, but great director of an interesting concept, and I feel like Robin Williams, he did a good job all the way through. And also, I forgot one thing, Diane Lane is in the film. You know her from Let Him Go and Hardball and The Glass House, and a lot of movies recently. you know. But about Jack, I thought it was intriguing. I liked the movie. I thought it was low key and calm, but the movie was so. It's a classic film, but Robin Williams was a great actor in the other line, and it's funny. This movie came out the same year as The Birdcage, like
Yeah.
Another Robin Williams movie, as I mentioned to you, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I almost forgot about that. Yeah, because this and The Birdcage, like two movies that starred Robin Williams, they came out the same year. Yeah, and I also like some stuff, like some moments in the film I recall, like for example, like they're all in this tree house, and Jack brings along Bill Cosby, and I was kind of expecting this, and it happens. Like they like manage to like break the tree house. It like breaks off from the tree, and even like the last thing to cause it to like crash and stuff like that is a butterfly.
Oh God.
Yes.
That was kind of a weird situation. A grown ass man, like butterflies. Like kids, like look at him, like, man, what are you doing? And I thought,
Yeah.
oh my God, that is so super weird. A grown man liking butterflies and beautiful things. But in my opinion, I love Robin Williams, man, and Robin Williams is one of my favorite actors growing up, and it's sad that he passed away a decade ago.
Yeah.
But I remember watching his movies when I was a kid. I remember watching the first Robin Williams movie I ever saw was Jumanji, and then Robots with Ewan McGregor and Halle Berry and Amanda Bynes.
No problems.
What else? The Birdcage. That was my first time watching that movie. I watched that movie like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was my first time watching that movie. That was like September. The movie with Nathan Lane. And it's funny? I know the situation that two movies came out in the same year. And Jack and Birdcage, that's two Robin Williams movies in the same year, and both movies came out 25 years ago, and that was like a very rare situation.
Yeah, I'd say so, and especially because for Robin Williams. But yeah, so other stuff like not the Birdcage, Jack, that I recall, like, well, you know what, Jack like does fall for his teacher, played by Jennifer Lopez, and asking her to the dance, but she really can't do that, and it does upset him, and that's when he kind of collapses due to something because of his health or whatever. And you know what? There's this one sequence, this one moment where, like, a montage of the kids just asking if Jack can come out and play and such. And that's when eventually Jack decides to go back to school, and you know what? The film did have a nice ending for sure, and in fact, because we cut to many years later, and all the kids that got to be friends with Jack, they became teenagers and graduating high school. And as for Jack, well, even though he did get older a little bit, because he got gray and such, even for his age, he would have been a teenager. He would be a teenager. And you know what? Jack gave a great speech, I can tell, and it just ended off in a really good way, I should say. But yeah. So, is there anything else, like any last things we have to say about Jack?
Yeah, sure. But the thing is, I feel like the movie itself is a very, oh my God, interesting concept. But Robin Williams as an actor, he did a great job in the film. But I heard the movie was a disaster. Well, in the box office level, it was a disaster, and it's like a messed up movie. And personally, I'm not a big fan of skipping age films. Like 13 Going on 30, Little and Big with Tom Hanks. I saw 13 Going on 30 years ago with Jennifer Garner. I remember that movie very well. I definitely remember that movie in my head.
Yeah,
and that was a good movie, 13 Going on 30. And about Jack, I mean, Jack is not a bad film. It's just the message film. No, the movie was a very good message, but it has heartwarming
Oh yeah.
moments, heartwarming moments, man. Like
Yeah.
that movie it was a good movie, but I wouldn't say worse, but it was decent. It was a decent film.
Yeah. Yeah.
And and I'm sorry to cut you off. And
No, it's okay.
okay, and the funny thing is that Francis Ford Coppola directing that movie, everyone knows him. Everybody knows that director from for example, Francis Ford Coppola, the director. He directed all three. In fact, the Godfather series.
Yes.
You know, everybody knows the Godfather. The movies are really good, and Oscar winning. But
Yep.
the first movie was an Oscar winning film. You know,
And so was I was just gonna say, so was the sequel. And you know, even the third one, it was okay, but it wasn't as great as the first two. But you know, at least the third Godfather film, did like get nominated for Best Picture. So
exactly. But you know, I mean, he's a legendary director, in fact, filmmaker,
Yep.
producer, and executive producer. And I didn't know he executive produced Jeepers Creepers movies, like the first two films, Jeepers Creepers and Jeepers Creepers 2, and Lost in Translation, and more other films that he produced. And, you know, I feel like Francis Ford Coppola is a legendary filmmaker, you know, in the generation.
Yes.
Side of the scenario, you know.
Oh yeah, and I think that, you know what, Francis Ford Coppola, I think he did pretty good directing this film. And Jack, I think what you said, I absolutely agree with you. Like, decent, and you know, it had heart and it had emotion. I could go on, but yeah, you heard it right there from Elijah. Yeah, and how do we rate Jack?
Oh God, I haven't seen that movie in a very long time. I would say 3 stars. It's not bad. 3 good.
Yeah, for me, it's on my mind. Like, I'll give this a 7 out of 10. That's about good. And, I mean, what about you guys? Like, have you seen Jack? What did you think of our review? Leave comments and give this review a like as always. So, there's that. So, thank you, Elijah, for joining me reviewing Jack.
My pleasure.
Yep. He'll be back very soon. Don't worry. We actually are planning to review another film later on next month, actually, so stay tuned for that. Again, he gives it 3 stars. I give it 7 out of 10 stars. We hope you guys enjoyed our review of Jack. More reviews coming your way. They're going to be awesome. Keep looking forward. And we'll see you guys in the next video/review. And for this being the last review for May. Take care, and peace out.